In this video, we are going to recap a sci-fi drama film called Proximity. Carl was driving home from work in Wrangell, Alaska, in 1979. He was following his friend's truck when suddenly it was lifted into the air by an unseen force. Their truck crashed on his, and he got out to see if they were okay. He looked up and saw a UFO flying over him. He ran for his life, but the UFO chased him. A beam of light came out of the UFO and paralyzed him. He felt himself being pulled up into the sky. Isaac Cypress was a young NASA engineer in 2023. He and his friend Beck liked to play a game where they used NASA satellites to send and find signals. Isaac found a signal that Beck didn't send. It came from Canada, where there were no satellites. Isaac sent back a copy of the signal, just for fun. That night, Isaac received a signal from space on his computer. It was a bunch of random code. He was curious about it, but he didn't know what it meant. His therapist suggested that he start keeping a video diary to cope with his stress. He took his camera everywhere with him. One day, he was hiking and making a video diary when a meteor crashed near him. He saw fighter jets and sirens in the distance. He realized that the area was going to be quarantined. He hid from the authorities and went to the crash site. There, he saw a UFO. He turned on his camera to record it, but it disappeared. He turned around and saw an alien behind him. He pressed the record button secretly. The alien looked at him and walked away. Isaac ran away, but he fainted on the way. He woke up 3 days later in a different place. He checked his camera and saw that he had footage of the alien and himself being lifted by a beam of light. He also had a strange mark on his arm. He went home and sat on his bed, thinking. He looked at his TV, and it vanished. He reached out and felt an invisible barrier where the TV was. He focused and the TV came back. He realized that he had some kind of power to make things disappear and reappear. He tried it with his camera, and it worked. He went to a doctor and got an X-ray of his arm. The X-ray showed that his arm bone was cut in a straight line, as if by a knife. Isaac went to work and showed Beck his new power. He made objects disappear and reappear with his mind. But Beck couldn't see what Isaac saw. He thought Isaac was playing a prank on him. Isaac showed him the video of the alien, but Beck was shocked. He didn't believe it was real. He told Isaac not to show it to anyone else. Isaac was frustrated. He went home and uploaded the video to a website. He wrote "alien abduction footage" as the caption. The next morning, he got a call from a news anchor. She wanted to interview him about the video. Isaac checked the website and saw that the video had gone viral. It had almost 1 million views. He read the comments and saw that people had different opinions. Some thought it was real, some thought it was fake. Isaac got more calls from the media. They all wanted to talk to him. He agreed to go on one news channel. He showed the video and told his story. He hoped that people would believe him, but the interviewer made fun of him. She said that it was too convenient that he had a camera when he met an alien. Isaac's story became famous, but not everyone supported him. Many people accused him of lying for attention. They said that the video was fake. Isaac felt alone and misunderstood. He went online and looked for other abduction stories. He found that many people had similar experiences to his. He contacted one girl named Sarah and met her. He told her that aliens had been visiting Earth for a long time. He showed her paintings and signals that proved it. Sarah asked him if he knew about Carl, the man who was abducted in Wrangell, Alaska, in 1979. Isaac said he didn't. Sarah told him that Carl went public with his story, but then he disappeared. Isaac decided to send copies of his video to websites that collected abduction reports. He hoped that someone would help him find out the truth. He put the copies in an envelope and went to the mailbox. Isaac met a man named Keith who said he was a writer. He said he wanted to help Isaac tell this story to the world. He said he felt sorry for how the media was treating Isaac. He offered to do a story where Isaac could explain everything in detail. Isaac thought about it and decided to trust him. He went to Keith's office and Keith asked him to take a lie detector test. He said it would make his story more credible. Isaac agreed, and Keith showed him how to wear the lie detector. Isaac answered all the questions about his abduction truthfully. He saw that the lie detector confirmed it. But Keith looked nervous. He left the office without saying anything. Isaac followed him and saw two men in suits coming towards him. They looked like agents. They shot at Isaac and he fell down. He lost consciousness. Isaac woke up and saw that he was being dragged by two robots. They took him to a white room and tied him to a chair. He saw that Sarah was also captured and taken away. He saw a screen in front of him. It showed Keith's face, but he said his name was Agent Graves. He said he was going to test Isaac's exposure level. He brought different objects in front of Isaac and told him to focus on them. He wanted to see if Isaac could make them disappear or reappear with his mind. But Isaac couldn't do it. He refused to cooperate and asked where he was and where Sarah was. Graves asked him if he knew where Carl was, the man who was abducted in 1979. Isaac lied and said he didn't know anything about Carl. Isaac broke free from his chair and fought the robots. He ran away and found Sarah in her room. He used his mind to open the door and rescued her. They ran together as the robots chased them. They got out of the facility and realized that they were in Costa Rica. Graves ordered his men to follow them. Isaac and Sarah met a woman in a restaurant who told them to go to a man named Zed, who could help them get online. They met Zed, who was a hacker and a techie. He agreed to help them, but the robots arrived, and they had to leave. Zed took them to his house in the jungle where he had a safe internet connection. On the way, Zed told them that the robots worked for the International Space Research Program, ISRP, which was a secret agency that studied aliens. Zed tried to find Carl online, but he couldn't find any trace of him. Isaac remembered the signal that he and Beck found from Canada. They hacked into NASA's servers and traced the signal to Carl's location. Zed called Carl on his laptop, but Carl rejected it. Zed hacked into his laptop, and Isaac quickly told Carl his abduction story before Carl could close it. Isaac told Carl that he sent a copy of his signal to space and got a reply that night. Carl asked to see the reply and Isaac sent it to him. Carl decoded the reply and played it as audio. It was an alien voice that gave a time and place for their arrival. They would come in 5 days to Carl's house. Carl shut down his laptop and cut off the call. Isaac said they had to go to Carl's house. Sarah was hesitant, but Zed was excited and asked if he could join them. Zed used his contacts in Costa Rica and got them a private plane to fly to Canada. Graves had put trackers on Isaac and Sarah and followed them. They arrived at Carl's house after a long journey. Carl was suspicious of them at first, but then he let them in. He told them that he was also abducted by aliens and taken by ISRP, but he escaped and hid for 20 years. He spent all his time trying to contact the aliens again. He made programs that translated alien codes into audio and audio into English so he could talk to them when they came. Isaac and Sarah waited for the aliens with Carl for 2 days. They spent time together in the woods and became closer. Zed explored Carl's equipment with curiosity. On the day of the alien arrival, Isaac felt the ground shake. Carl said it was because the aliens were near. Isaac went into the woods to find them. He saw them and asked them what they wanted from him. They all sat down with the aliens with Carl's translator on. The aliens said that they had mastered science, technology, medicine, and physics. Now they were looking for something more. Isaac and Sarah talked to the aliens with Carl's translator. The aliens said that they had learned everything about science, technology, medicine, and physics. Now they were looking for the origin of the universe. Isaac asked them why they were interested in humans. The aliens said that humans had a special aura that they could measure. They showed Isaac a vision of Jesus and asked him who he was. Isaac asked them why they wanted to know about him. The aliens said that he was connected to the origin of the universe and the human aura. Sarah asked them why they had marks on their arms. The alien took out a device and cut her arm cleanly. He took out a tracker that he had put in her. He said that he did it for their records. He told Isaac that in his world, people believed what they saw. But he said that after their advancements, they realized that people saw what they believed. Suddenly, Graves and his men came to Carl's house. They demanded that Carl come out. They revealed that Graves hated Carl because his father was in the truck that was abducted with Carl in 1979. Graves wanted to know what happened to his father, but Carl didn't know. Graves ordered his men to shoot Carl. Sarah ran to help Carl, and she was shot too. The alien told Isaac to focus and use his senses. He did, and he made the whole house disappear into another dimension. He brought everyone with him, away from Graves and his men. The aliens healed Sarah and Carl with their powers. They walked past Graves and escaped in the alien spaceship. 6 months later, Isaac and Sarah were living together on an island. They were happy and in love. Zed and Carl had started their own tech company in secret. Graves had been fired from ISRP for his actions at Carl's house. Isaac still made video diaries regularly.